104.1 KRBE. Let's get started. It's the Roula and Ryan Show.
Wake up, fool!
Hey, wake up!
It's about to get all stupid up in here!
Right here.
Featuring Eric.
Eric, he is a bad, bad man.
Special K.
The big red K.
Are you threatening me?
I'm waiting for you.
And Sam.
I am a wife! I am a wife!
You've waited long enough.
How the heck do you pronounce this woman's name?
Roula. And
Ding dong.
Ryan. 104.1 KRBE.
Good morning, and welcome to the Roula and Ryan Show. Roula's on her way in. She'll be here in just a couple of minutes. Special K and Sam with me right now. Hey, guys.
Hey.
Woo, I'm coming off my my stage debut last night.
How'd that go?
Tell everyone what show you were at, and then you were just supposed to introduce it, but something else happened?
Oh, yeah. It's the Ugly Christmas Sweater musical. It's at the Hobby Center. Y'all, this has got to be the best date night you could ever hope for. It is so fun. I mean, it's really funny. It's just completely interactive with the audience, and I actually got pulled up for a pretty good amount of time on stage. So I don't want to give away too much of the play. I want you to be surprised and have fun. But I would say at least 8 people throughout the course of the night will get pulled up on stage. And you just sing along. It's fun. It's hilarious. Kevin, I know you would love this because there's a runway portion of it. And yes, I walked the runway.
A runway portion.
I rocked it. I can
You know
give this
she loves
much.
a good runway.
I had I dressed in my ugly Christmas sweater. But during the course of the play, ugly Christmas sweaters are very, what do you say, integral part of the play. And they design ugly Christmas sweaters in the storyline. My ugly Christmas sweater actually had chimneys on it with real smoke coming out of it.
This was a prop that they gave you?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
And I had no idea what I was going to be doing. I'm just like every other audience member. You don't know what you're going to be doing when you get pulled up on stage.
Mm-hmm.
And oh, my God, y'all, it is so funny. But if you get a chance, it's playing at the Hobby Center all the way through Christmas Eve. So you can get your tickets at tuts.com. It's so much fun, y'all.
That's a big stage. Now, when you were done, did they pull you actually backstage and shuffle you off that way? Or did they put you down back into your seat, young man?
No, they'll escort you back. Yeah, they escort you back. And it's so cool. I mean, I've never been to a show where everybody was just smiling from beginning to end. It was so much fun. So, like I say, if you get a chance, you got to go.
I love a good theater production. I was on both sides of the stage, both back and front. And I think doing backstage tech work was probably my favorite.
Oh, in high school?
Yeah, you got to, you didn't have to memorize any lines. You still got to go to all the fun parties. You got to, you didn't have to get an outfit. You just wore all black.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know?
Crew always wears all black, yeah. You're supposed to not notice them when they're running on stage to fix something.
So, like you said, Roula will be in just a few moments. Kind of chilly out today.
I know.
Snuggie on.
I know.
You do. It's
literally.
legit snuggie over there.
I'm like freaking out about the weather because now we're supposed to get this massive storm tomorrow. Thank goodness it's like earlier in the day. It's not good for everybody driving in tomorrow, but we're supposed to get this big storm and we could get like 1 to 5 inches of rain.
What?
But by the evening, thank God it'll clear out. It looks like it's going to clear out because I've got that big art debut. We're all doing something really amazing right now. If you go to krbe.com, why don't you guys explain what y'all are doing real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
So,
okay.
I am going to teach you the art of hibachi at Benihana. There's an opportunity for several different groups of people on mine. And so what I'll do is I'll have you come in and sit around the hibachi, and I will teach you a meal that you can take back home and do yourself. You don't even have to have an actual hibachi grill.
Ooh.
But I figured the hibachi hottie himself should be the one to teach
Is that what
you.
you're naming it
Now, why are you doing this?
Hibachi hottie.
We're all doing different experiences, and Sam will get to yours in a second, but it's to help Houston's little heroes. All the proceeds are going to go to Texas Children's Hospital. So we're going to do a live broadcast from Texas Children's like we did last year, but leading up to that, Friday is when we're going to stop the auction here. So you can go to krbe.com and bid on an experience. And it's not just the Roula and Ryan show, it's all the DJs on KRBE. So all the different experiences, be a hibachi master with Kevin. Sam, you and Eric are doing paintball.
Yeah, it's Splat Zone. We have the VIP paintball experience with Eric and myself, Sam. You could do dinner at Christie's with Roula Christie. I'm also there's a local Houston brewery. It's called Bad Astronaut, and they have yoga sessions. So I'm going to do a private yoga session and enjoy some beer afterwards. And then I also have another one because I like to drink beer. The Wild West Brew Fest. That's going to happen in 2024. So it's a little bit out, but it's a VIP experience, which is really cool with unlimited beer and drinks.
Hold on. When is this happening? I'm coming in. I'm going to bid on this one.
Right? Yeah. So,
No, I don't think we're allowed to bid. It's like everybody listening. You can go to krb.com and bid. Now, for my event, you don't have to bid. I just want you to show up tomorrow, Art Museum TX in Sugarland Town Square. It's going to be from 6 to 8. I know I'm going to be staying later than that, but please try and show up between 6 and 8. I have spent the last 2 years making all these paintings. I was tallying it up, and I think this is about 1,000 hours worth of work I put into this. So I've made all these paintings. I may not be the greatest painter in the world, but I try my hardest. And if you like something that you see, you just grab it off the wall, you walk out, make a donation to Texas Children's Hospital. You got a piece of artwork. So come on out from 6 to 8. That's at Art Museum TX in Sugarland Town Square. We'll put the KRBE van in front of it. It's really easy to find. It's right in the middle of everything. And
if you want to bid on if you want to bid on all this, it's at krbe.com, and there's a scrolling tile on the very front page. One of them will say the Houston's Little Heroes charity auctions. Click on that and you'll see all
I want to
different
bid on
variety.
that Grammy trip.
Yes.
Yeah, that looks really, really
the
cool.
Grammy trip is definitely one of the items here on this list. And that's something that I have got to do. Thank you guys for sending me years and years ago. But it is time for someone else to get to do that.
Oh, how sweet of you, Kev. So you
Yeah.
basically gave up your Grammy trip.
I did.
For a good cause.
Yep.
I think they'd be a little
Is
upset
what I'm hearing.
if we bid on it. Hey, Rolla, welcome to the party.
Sorry. I don't know if it's like Wednesday scaries or like what's happening outside. Hold on, let me plug in my headphones.
Yeah.
Y'all, today's commute was so crazy. If there was like the longest bus in front of me that's just not moving and then I can't get around it, and then like the light just was like the longest light. It felt like 2 rotations. 3 different lights, 2 rotations. Mine still's not great. I was like, oh my God. When the show started and I'm sitting in there, I go, well, here I am sitting at this light. When y'all started the show, I go, I'm just sitting at this light.
Yeah.
It's like so obnoxious.
Welcome to Houston. I mean, it's like the worst. We did this story last week.
Ryan, there's not traffic right now.
Not right now.
Let me give you the bus situation I was stuck behind. There were 2 lanes. I could only turn right on the right lane. The bus is in the right lane. I have to go right. There's nobody in the left, but the light's red. Am I going to go around the bus and then cut him off to run the red to turn right because I can't see who's coming to the left? So I was like, okay, well, I guess in the interest of safety, I'll just sit behind the bus. Which we know how hard it is to drive a bus because we all had to do it with Metro. And,
That was fun.
Bus drivers are having a hard time with those buses. It's really insane. But I just was so annoyed at this time of the morning. The one thing that this job provides us outside, I mean, not the one thing, but at this time of the morning to have to wake up, which is really hard, right? But we do it because that's just what it is. The one great thing about that is that there's no traffic, usually, right? There's not like anybody in your way. Man, Metro,
But I mean, we talked
praise
about
the bus
this.
drivers, but oh my God, that bus driver was like asleep or something.
We talked about this last week, y'all, that Houston has the worst drivers in the United States. This is a proven fact now. They did this study, this national study. We are the worst drivers in the United
I
States.
would have added
of
to that
America.
list had I cut the bus off to take the right. But what is this crazy lady doing?
You mentioned about the people running the red lights. It happened again this morning. I mean, I really, especially when it's dark and you come to a red light and the light turns green, you really got to pause and look
Heck yeah.
every direction.
Look both ways, up and down, back and forth.
Right.
People going the wrong way on the right side.
Right at the Beltway and Westheimer, light turned green, and sure enough, I looked, and this jackass went through it 30, 40 miles an hour. And I mean, if I had I was entitled to go straight. Light was green. If I had obeyed the laws and gone straight, I would have been killed. So it's like you really have got to be just very hyper diligent.
Especially now because it's holiday season, I feel like there's a lot more impatience. Just, we're in that season now. I feel like from
Where's the fire,
Thanksgiving
buddy? You're going to be
New Year's
okay.
Eve, it gets crazy and people get really, I don't know what the word is.
Inconsiderate.
I don't know. It's like they're like feisty.
Agitated.
They're just like feisty.
But I would think, Ryan, your fancy car puts a bubble around you.
My
whenever
fancy
you,
car.
If you were to get hit
My
and
fancy
rolled.
car. I mean, trust me, it's not that
Talk about
fancy.
my fancy underwear. You know, that fancy car.
No,
that bubble car.
Not as fancy as Eric's truck. I guarantee you, if good pickup truck's going to cost you more than any kind of like sports car.
But also, I would feel safer in that truck.
Oh, heck yeah.
Well, I had to
It's like
drive
a
a truck
Sherman
yesterday
tank.
because my family was hit by a car that ran a red light. So we're in a loaner car and it's a truck. And I put my husband, for those that don't know, is the bread man. We have a bread place. And so there were bread trays. Do you know how big bread racks
Oh,
are?
yes.
Like, go to the grocery store today and look at them loading the bread. Those giant plastic bread racks. There were 4 of them in the bed of the truck.
Oh, wow.
Because they have to go back to the bakery. And yesterday I was driving. I was like, oh my God, what is that noise? Oh my God, what is that noise? It's like they're like sliding. I was like, I'm not used to driving a truck, and they're very long. Anyway, so today on the Roula and Ryan Show, we've got Sebastian Maniscalco tickets at 8 o'clock this morning for the Rapid Fire Quiz.
And by the way, the rapid fire quiz, Eric is so competitive about that. He wanted to have
He's gonna lose today.
he wanted to have the most wins of the year, and now it's almost a statistic impossibility because he's out.
Yeah. So, sorry about that, Eric. Also, we've got the Houston firefighters coming in today because it's calendar season, friends. It's a great gift. Makes a great gift. You can hire out the firefighters to come sign calendars at your event and raise money for a great cause. So, we'll give you all the details on that as they get here. That's going to be an 8 o'clock hour. And Disney, some people are in the industry are like, oh my God, is Disney in trouble? Well, what is it? The parks, the movies, the animation department? What is it? Disney is in trouble. Sound the alarm. We'll talk about it in Scoop next. Here's your weather for today.
It's going to be kind of gray, and it's just a chill in the air. It's only going to warm up to about 67 today, but right now, 47 degrees and 612 on the Roula and Ryan Show.
I'm very proud to present Roula and Ryan's Celebrity Scoop on 104.1 KRBE.
It is brought to you by Innovative Lasers of Houston. And I just want to remind you guys, 8 o'clock this morning, we have tickets for you to see Sebastian Maniscalco. That is the prize today for the Rapid Fire Quiz. It's our cutthroat trivia game where somebody's always mad. But Eric's not here today, so
He's not
maybe we
here.
won't be mad.
And I think he's really going to be upset because think about this. He's been really wanting to take it all, like to be the bragger of, I won the most in 2023. And now, with him being out, he may not be able to do that.
And that's just fine.
Because I think what, we have one more rapid fire after that? No, 2 more.
Probably.
And then that's it. That's the end of the year.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens at 8 o'clock this morning. All right. So Disney had the movie Wish premiere last week, and it only made like $48 million. And everyone's like, oh my God, an animated feature only made that much money? That's crazy. Disney has not had $1 billion film this year. And think about what Disney covers. Marvel Universe, animation. Star Wars, all that stuff. And there's this whole thing in the industry news about like, oh my gosh, is Disney in trouble? They basically blew out the arsenal in the 2010s with all these crazy movies from the Marvel Universe and even like Avatar with, what was it, the something of water? What was it called again? Y'all see it?
Oh,
No,
Oh my God.
Avatar,
The Shape of Water?
No,
What was it?
Avatar, The Way of Water.
The Way of Water.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
I mean,
Shape of Water.
Yeah.
The Shape of Water
That
was
was a whole different movie.
That was a different movie came out. That was an Academy Award-winning movie.
Yeah.
Well, it's not. These movies that they have in the pipeline are not lined up to be $1 billion movies because even the last Marvel movie only made $845 million.
Well, that's because it was the Marvels. It was the one with what's her name again? Brie Larson.
Yeah, I cannot keep track of the Marvel movies. That is one universe I cannot keep track of the Marvel
It's
universe.
only the biggest selling. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. For that
movies
to
of
be
all
so
time.
big, it's so weird to me that is as much as I love entertainment stuff, that is just the turnoff topic for me. Like I just okay.
Yeah, comics are definitely a turnoff for
And
me.
I used
as
to
well.
like
Not-
them, Kev.
no.
I used to love them. I remember, like, in the early days of Spider-Man and stuff, like, we would leave the station to go to, like, the media preview of, like, Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2 and Spider-Man 3 and all. I watched all that stuff, and then I'm like, nah. I don't know.
right
There's
now-
like 17 Spider-Mans.
well, right now, that was so great about the last Spider-Man. They had all 3 Spider-Man in it. And that was a lot of fun because they did a multiverse.
But see, now I'm so confused with so many Spider-Mans, that's why I checked out. I'm like, okay.
But
Which one is it?
fun.
Who's
Yeah.
going to be the Spider-Man? That's what bothers me is when they switch everything.
Now
It's like
they're keeping
another movie with
Tom
a new
Holland.
Spider-Man, yay.
They're filming a 4th Spider-Man with Tom Holland right now.
they?
Marvel's actually doing pretty well. It's the DC comics that are doing terrible. They're completely rebooting. Like the Aquaman movie is supposed to be right now they're saying, like, first of all, a lot of people don't want to see it because Amber Heard's in it.
But Disney doesn't own DC Comics.
No, they don't. They own Marvel.
Yeah.
But DC, they're doing a complete reboot right now. Like they've fired everybody. Even Gal Gadot's out as Wonder Woman.
And
like,
actually, hold
everybody.
on. I said Avatar, but actually I've been thinking Avatar. Is that owned by Disney because they have the ride? No. James Cameron's Avatar's trilogy is not a Disney-owned property,
I think
is it?
I've seen Avatar. I think it's on Disney Plus.
Okay, I'm just kind of... Because Indiana Jones, they've got Indiana Jones, they've got Star Wars, they've got Marvel. They've got everything.
I got to warn you about that. I love the Indiana Jones franchise, but that last one they did...
Dial of Destiny.
I didn't see it yet.
It is the worst piece of crap. It makes...
Worse than the one with the crystal skull?
Oh, it makes the crystal skull look like a masterpiece.
Oh, come on.
So freaking bad. It is the worst.
no.
It doesn't even deserve to be called
So
Indiana
it might
Jones.
ruin me on the franchise. So don't even see it.
It's so horrible. It's
Or
just so terrible. They didn't
challenge
even play-
yourself to see if
Watch
you
it.
disagree with what he's saying.
Oh,
maybe.
true.
No, it's really bad, y'all. I'm not kidding. I love Indiana Jones. It's my childhood. I mean, it's just like everything about it. It's just so fun. I even like the Crystal Skull. I could tolerate it. But this was just unwatchable. It was so bad.
Well, I guess if anybody has seen that,
They
maybe.
de-aged him in the beginning, like the first 15 minutes, but they didn't de-age his voice. So you see young Harrison Ford talking, but he's got this old gravelly voice. It didn't make any sense. I mean, because they can use AI to fix his voice, but they didn't.
Maybe he
Oh,
didn't want
right.
AI to do his voice. That's what the whole strike was about. Don't make AI
No,
use
he
my
is
voice.
being paid. The strike is about them not being paid and using AI. He was paid handsomely for that.
Right. I don't know. This is too much of a deep dive on Indiana Jones.
Sorry.
It is officially the holiday season as tonight at 7 o'clock, the Rockefeller Center tree gets lit up. And then an hour later on NBC, they're going to do Christmas at Graceland. I don't remember this being a thing on
No,
NBC.
me neither. It's
Christmas at
basic-
Graceland.
It's like saying Christmas at a graveyard because that's what it is. It's
Well, it's
where
a-
Elvis
it's a
and his
national
daughter,
tourist stop.
They're all buried there.
You know, and all these artists are going to be paying tribute to Elvis and his Christmas hits, like Blue Christmas. But I don't remember that always being the thing.
Maybe it's new.
And you know what's crazy? For as much work as they do with that giant tree at Rockefeller Center, isn't it sad it's only lit for 4 weeks? Like, they should do Christmas at Rockefeller Center November 14. Like, look at Memorial City Mall in the Galleria. Didn't their trees go up November 1st or something? You know?
Yeah, but those
that
are
tree
artificial.
is giant.
This is a real tree. They probably don't want pine needles all over the place.
I don't think that's the concern. I think it's the more the merrier when it comes to bringing tourists to New York City. Have you guys ever done New York City? I know you have, Ryan, but
Oh, yeah.
have Sam and Kevin, have
Worked
you
in
ever done
it.
New York City at Christmas?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. We would go every single year throughout middle and high school.
And it's freezing and miserable.
It's very, very crowded. It is cool. Here's my
smells
thing.
bad.
In my
It's
20s,
so
I thought it
cold.
was awesome
So
because I was in my 20s and it was fun. I would go there and I didn't care about crowds. We'd go to clubs and I'd see the Christmas stuff in the daytime and blah, blah, blah. Then I went, my kids were talking about, my niece and my kids and my sister and I were talking about Christmas in New York. And my niece says, wouldn't it be so cool if we all went to that? And my sister looks at me and she goes, I don't know, you think it'd be kind of cool? Because she and I have done New York together.
When is the
Christmas
lighting
time.
again?
The lighting is tonight at 7
Oh,
o'clock.
crap. I'm
on
going to be there in
NBC.
2 days.
Well, you'll see it. But
see the
whatever.
Rockettes, though.
I have seen the Rockettes at Radio City, and I've seen them here at the Hobby Center. The Rockettes are amazing. When the Rockettes do the traveling show, it is 1,000,000% worth it. It's so cool. And I'm such a geek now because I'm so fascinated by what it must take to be a Rockette and how they do everything in sync the way they do it. Because, y'all, this is just...
Practice.
I mean, they have Instagram shows you everything now, and they have behind the scenes of how they have to practice to be the reindeer and be the little toy soldiers and be this and be that and be 100% to the millisecond in sync on the kicks. It's pretty fascinating. And if you're a kid or you were ever in dance or you're in theater or you're interested in that kind of stuff, it's pretty interesting because that's something you can do, and it's you're a Radio City Rockette.
I can tell you
Rockettes are pretty
firsthand, Rula, that I have a newfound respect for them doing those kicks. Last night I was part of
I heard you. The Ugly Christmas Musical?
I was part of the production, the Ugly Christmas Sweater Musical, and I had to do the kicks in sync with people on stage. And wow, I was rough. That was rough. I know somebody filmed it, and I'm like, oh God, I'm just waiting for it to come out, and I'm like, oh,
You know,
God.
I knew
It's
you-
so embarrassing.
And side note, I knew when you went hard on Indiana Jones, somebody listening is going to snap back because somebody on text said, Kevin, don't listen to Ryan Chase. He is exaggerating so much. The Indiana Jones movie is decent, better than the Crystal Skull.
No, it's not. There's no story. There's not even an adventure. They don't even go on an adventure. It's terrible. And they
Was
don't
there
even
a
have...
boulder that he was running away from?
No.
Or was he in
He's
some kind of
80 years
trolley in
old.
a
He's
cave?
not doing any running.
There
and-
was no cave trolley for Indy?
No. And I think the thing that bothered me the most, they didn't even put the song in it. Da, 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 da. And no point was that in the movie. I was like, wow, how do you miss that?
Well, I guess there's a lot to catch up on if you want over the holiday season on all the
Go watch
streaming
that and
apps
let us know.
and let us know. And tonight, get your holiday on. Also, Home Alone is now America's favorite holiday film to rewatch every single year, followed by A Christmas Story, and then A Charlie Brown Christmas. Which again, we said you can only find on Apple Plus TV.
Classic.
Rudolph was, I think, on over the weekend.
That was on
KHRU.
CBS like just a couple of days ago.
And then Elf over the weekend. They did 24 hours of Elf on TBS over the weekend.
24 hours.
Yeah, one of my friends texted me. She goes, "Oh my God, I'm totally thinking about you, Elf, and I'm loving it." And so I put it on. And what are the odds that right when I turned it on, it's the scene where he gets his finger pricked to do the DNA test and eats a cotton ball. And then I was running around the house doing Christmas stuff. And then when I came back around a couple hours later, it was the exact same scene on the repeat.
Oh, wow.
What
It
was
like
the
exact same scene.
Weren't you doing that your story the other day? Like, what was he putting in his mouth when it was supposed to be a cotton ball?
It was uncolored cotton candy.
Cotton candy. Okay.
Yeah. If you have Netflix, watch The Movies That Made Us. They do a whole thing on Elf.
It's fun.
And how it must be so maddening to be somebody with an idea in Hollywood who just wants their movie to be made because there's about a wall of 1,000 suits that will tell you that's not funny.
Mm-hmm.
We don't think that's funny. Because when Elf was being presented to the suits piece by piece as they were filming, the suits would be like, "And you think this is funny?" And the guy's like, "Yeah, honestly, I do. I think it's funny."
I just remember
Like
the
when he's
whole...
jumping in the crosswalk and he's eating the gum off
yeah.
Yeah.
That was funny.
It's just ridiculously funny. It's just ridiculously
Will Ferrell's
funny.
his own sense of humor. I just remember that part of the show where they said when they got Jon Favreau to direct, he said the only way I'm doing this is if I can make it look like one of those old animated specials, those claymation shows like Rudolph and Santa
Yes.
Claus.
And I'm here for the texts at 37530.
Oh God, I'm getting hammered, huh?
Tell Ryan Jason turn up his hearing aid. They absolutely played that song in the movie.
I don't remember it.
Oh, dear.
Oh.
It was so painful.
So Kevin, I think you have to.
You may have to watch it, Kev. To give
Right.
us a-
You watch it and tell me, Kevin, because you were pretty hard on the Crystal Skull. This is worse.
I was. I did. It didn't make sense to me. They did all this biblical stuff, and then all of a sudden they jumped to aliens. And I love aliens. Don't mix Indiana Jones and aliens.
And now they're doing time travel in this one.
Okay. And by the way, to the text that said they're going this weekend for Christmas in New York, I'm so excited. Please don't ruin it for me. No, I'm not ruining it for you. I'm just saying there are a lot of crowds, so just make sure you have your comfortable shoes and you're going to walk a lot.
And whatever
And bundle
they're
up.
cooking
Yeah.
on those grills, find out what kind of nuts they are, because they're stank
those
nuts.
No, the nuts smell so good.
No, there's definitely stank
No,
nuts
I know
too.
you're talking about the burnt ones.
The burnt stank
that
nuts.
burnt
What are
smell
they?
is so
What-
bad.
That truck's
Is
not
that
doing a good
chestnuts?
job.
Do you want me to bring you back some, Kevin?
See if you can find out exactly what they are. When you smell the bad ones, say, "Sir, what is that there that
It's
you got
changed a lot,
stinking?"
though. Now they have food trucks there. It used to be like, don't
Little carts.
Don't ever get those hot dogs from the carts. God, do not do that.
Well, we can do a raw feed on New York City Christmas 101, what to stay away from and what
Stay
to run
away from
to.
the hepatitis dogs.
If you are doing holiday shopping right now online, there is a major trick on how to get a bigger discount than is advertised for the items that you are looking to purchase, either for yourself or for your loved ones. We will tell you the shopping hack next on the Roula and Ryan Show.
104.1 KRBE. I love it.
Back to Roula and Ryan.
All right, here we go. It's shopping season.
It sure is. I mean, some people started shopping like in October. And if you did that, make sure you make a note to yourself of what you bought for whom and where you put it.
Seriously.
It's just like, I don't know where that thing is.
I know. I just
forgot
keep
what I bought.
everything. I keep everything in one room.
And others took advantage of Black Friday, Cyber Monday, just regular online deals like Cyber Monday extended to Wednesday. Okay, so here is a hack that when I saw this article this morning, I go, oh my God, that's so true because it happened to me over the last 3 days. This is only for online shopping, not in real life. Here's the hack of how you can save more money than they're telling you you're going to save. Have you ever gone shopping on a website? Because yes, they lured you with the here's your promo code, save 40%, or here's
The
your
promo code never works.
No, it works.
A lot of
Or
times I
it'll
have
be like
problems
the
with it.
website will be on like 20%, whatever it is, right? Okay, so I've done that. In the last few days, I started and then I got distracted and I stopped. And they obviously they're totally on top of their game with tracking everything that we're doing on their site, because as soon as you leave their site, if you do not purchase anything, you'll get a text if you signed up for that company, or you'll get an email saying, did you forget something in your cart?
Oh, yes.
Right? Well, they know that you left it in your cart. And the hack is go shopping on the site that you want, put it in your cart, leave it in your cart, and get away from it. Now, here's the trick. You have to make sure it's not a website that is highly shopped because, well, like, I'll give you Athleta, for example. I went to Athleta on Black Friday online, and it said this item can only be saved for 30 minutes in your cart because it was Black Friday and they had a lot of traffic, right? Mm-hmm. So make sure it doesn't say that, but you put it in your cart and you move from the page. You will get a luring email back saying, save 15% more and free shipping if you come back and finish your cart. Like they up the ante if you left it in your cart. That's the online shopping.
I do that
hack.
all the time. I'll see something and I'll be like, I'm in bed. I don't feel like going to get my credit card. I'm like,
you mean you don't know it by heart? Oh my God, you are a weak shopper.
I did until I had to have them all replaced. Remember, like a couple weeks ago, I lost all my credit cards. They all had to be. They were all compromised.
Yeah. So you left it in your cart, and then what happened? You just forgot.
No, I get the notifications. I've never gotten the deal notifications.
Yeah, the deal notifications. Usually it'll be the basic minimum is free shipping.
Yes.
They'll say, come back and do your cart, you'll get free shipping. But now they up the ante more, like save another 15% and free shipping with orders over $50.
Reading an article about that. They said that the number one concern that people have, free shipping. They want free shipping.
You can always hope for those emails, but what I do is I also put those things in my cart, and then I go reshop that whole distance, but I go through Rakuten first, and then that gives me a percentage back of my purchase.
But what if they're not connected
it's
on
like
Rakuten?
it's like Ebates. Some people are not on Rakuten, but like for instance, big ones like eBay. For instance, they are connected through their Travelocity, a lot of different shoe stores. So what they do is they take like between 1% and 5% of your purchase, and they just give it back to you in the form of a PayPal.
You know what I do? I put everything in my cart that I really want, and then I exit out of the web browser. And in my mind, it's getting delivered to my house, but it never does. And it
Like
makes
fake
me
shopping?
it makes me feel like, oh, this is really good.
This is gonna be great.
And I won't get
box.
in trouble for buying anything. But then it never shows up.
Do you guys do this though? When you see the ads for something and then you click on it, you're like, ooh, I really think I'd like this. But then I'll look it up on Amazon to see if it's cheaper there.
Oh, yeah.
Or go to other sites. And it usually is.
I like to make sure if I'm going to go to Amazon to price shop that it is the actual Apple to Apple, not the third party, kind of looks like it, but it's not the same name of it thing. You know what I mean?
I don't think I've really gotten burned by third party sellers.
Oh, I've gotten burned by third party. I'm just like, what the hell is this garbage?
Yeah.
I'm like, you got to just be really careful.
Very careful.
It says in the article, too, about the hack about almost buying something. Of course, Sam, you actually have to pull the trigger to make it come to your
I
house.
can't do it, guys.
They say if you wait a few days, that's just a few days, but make sure now that we're in that really tense season of shopping and timelines, you don't wait too long that A, it was sold out, or B, it won't get here on time because of their shipping.
Yes.
Because right now, what I learned over the last 4 days of looking at things online is they will tell you the date it's going to come. And even though I bought something on Saturday online, it still wasn't primed to come to my house until December the 16th or something with standard shipping. So a lot of these are going to up the ante on delivery time to get you hooked, to buy it, to let's get it. And anyway, so that's one of the big hacks. Get a deal just by leaving stuff in your cart. Just make sure in the fine print under the item, a lot of times it's in red, it doesn't say this item can only be held for 30 minutes.
Right.
Now, where
They
do you
normally
guys
tell you?
Where do you guys think you got burned the most? Like for me, it's Instagram. And I will never buy anything off Instagram again. Like when I get ads there, it's always a bait and switch. It's never what it's advertised, and it's usually crap.
I think the best way to look, like if anybody is online shopping, is just when you, like Ryan said, if it's Instagram, go and look and see if they have reviews.
Right.
I think that's the biggest thing. Because why would there not be reviews on a website? It's probably too good to be true.
And Sam, you know what else I do when I see something on Instagram bombarding me with an ad?
Yes.
I seek it out separately on the actual site. I don't click it through Instagram.
Yeah.
I look to see the actual site, like what does this look like? Because I don't know if you guys, I mean, of course we have different algorithms, but I got bombarded with these personalized blankets for kids. You put their names on them. And I just felt like there were like 6 different companies that sound insane. Like you've never heard of the company.
Right.
All hitting me with these kids blankets with their names and get it for your dog. And so I looked it up.
Yeah.
And it was like all these different websites. So I looked up one of them. And I think we talked about it off the air. TEMU. That one hit me hard with a lot of
I
stuff.
hate that website.
A lot of
Yeah.
people have
TEMU.
been- my little brother shops from there and hasn't had any issues.
Hasn't had issues.
But
Okay, so I
don't know what he's getting.
So I bit the bullet and I said, well, let me see how much the blanket is. So I was going to get a blanket. And when I went to go do the order, it had a big warning screen come up and said it was a scam website.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, it's just like
Good thing you had
But not
that.
for TEMU. It was for one of the hybrids of TEMU. Kind of like, y'all teased me when I got caught up with that Bed Bath & Beyond thing.
Yes.
On Instagram. When Bed Bath & Beyond was going out of business, I sent Kevin this thing like, oh my God, this is weird. Why are the leaf blowers so cheap? But it was actually a third. You think you're clicking that site. It takes you to another site. You're not paying attention. You got to just really be vigilant when you're online shopping.
It's the same scam that they do with the phones. Like I mentioned how I had to have my credit cards canceled because my daughter shipped something UPS. She got a text from UPS. Click the link, and
Don't
it wasn't.
click the link.
Don't ever
No.
click the link ever. They're not going to send you a link.
And never give your Google code to whoever's on the phone asking you for it. That is how you're giving them access to all of your Google stuff. Just be vigilant this holiday season.
Hey, yo. Time for KRBE's Roula and Ryan show to tell you what's going down in H-Town.
The price of gas in Houston, that's what's going down. This is brought to you by Duncan. The average price of a gallon of gas in Houston has dropped to $2.80 this month. That's down 60 cents from last year's, or actually from this year's high back in August. This is according to Gas Buddy. They measured this. Houston remains one of the least expensive cities for gas. We're 58 cents less than the national average. So we got one thing going for us there. That's kind of nice. Take a little victory there. Astros starter Lance McCullers Jr., who is recovering from right forearm surgery, said he aims to resume light throwing soon and remains confident about returning to pitch for the 2024 season for the Astros.
It's a light toss. Just don't toss, guys. It's okay.
It's a light toss. It's a light toss right now. So more than 2.9 million travelers passed through the airports this Sunday. We broke the all-time record. This is according to the TSA. The most
Or
travelers.
even before COVID.
Yeah. This is the most people traveled in the history of the United States this past Thanksgiving weekend. Sunday, there were more people at the airports than ever before. That's why I dropped my daughter off at 5 a.m. It was nice. And by the way, if you've not checked out KRBE.com right now, we're doing something amazing. Houston's Little Heroes. Everybody right now is having an experience that we're auctioning off. You can go there and you can do all sorts of different activities with the entire Roula and Ryan show, the entire KRBE staff. Roula, somebody gets a chance to actually go and have dinner with you at your family restaurant.
Yes, the oldest restaurant in Houston. Get some Houston history there.
Sam, you're doing paintball with producer Eric.
Yep. Or you can do yoga and some beer at that astronaut or
Do you have to do the yoga at the same time you're drinking the beer? Like balance
That would
the
be
beer
fun.
on your torso while
That
you're
would be
doing the
really
move?
cool. I don't know. I'm going to ask for some plastic cups to make it real wild.
You can do hibachi grill with Special K. You can make the
Benihana.
smoking little onion volcano.
Yeah, I'm going to toss some shrimps into your mouth.
Yeah.
And then, of course,
Exciting.
tomorrow night, Art Museum TX in Sugarland Town Square. I know the weather's going to be bad in the early part of the day, but it does not look like it's going to be raining at night. So please come out there. Sugarland Town Square from 6 to 8 p.m. I'm going to be selling off all these paintings. You come in, you see a painting you like, and you just grab it. Make a donation to Texas Children's Hospital. It'll be happening from 6 to 8 p.m. And that's what's going down in H-Town.
All right, coming up next, Special K has a prank call. What is the phrase that you use to drive the person on the phone crazy?
I'm sorry. Could you say that louder?
So, I'm sorry, can you say that again? What now?
Can you say that louder?
Say that louder.
I didn't hear you, sir. What'd you say?
Was I can't hear you. Can you say that louder?
Oh, God.
We're going to hear it next on The Roula and Ryan Show.